If you've ever wondered, am I living my true purpose? Or how can I find deeper meaning in my work? This video has you covered. Spoiler alert, your purpose is not something that you do. It's something that unlocks in layers as you live and express yourself authentically. Are you doing work that lights you up? Do you get to use your natural gifts to make an impact? Is there room for creativity and flexibility in your work? Do you feel fulfilled in your business? If the answer is no, or you feel unclear, that's totally okay. This video will help you navigate your Gene Keys sphere of purpose so that you can find answers. And if you would like additional support with this work, you can book a complimentary consultation in the description below. Exploring your purpose sphere in the Gene Keys will help you with your business in 3 primary ways. The first, of course, is fulfillment, creating authentic impact and feeling deeply satisfied in your work. This looks like getting to do the work that you want to do in the way you want to do it and creating the impact that you want to make. Exploring your purpose will help you build resilience so that you can show up grounded and empowered in all situations. Because as you know, when you're an entrepreneur, things do not always go as planned. Things take longer than expected, challenges arise, you hit plateaus, and sometimes you even feel the desire to pivot. Resilience is key. Contrary to popular belief, doing big things in the world actually requires simplicity. Simplicity allows you to show up with calm confidence, and it gives you the spaciousness to relax. Overcomplicating things can lead to burnout and falling off track. Simplicity allows you to build a solid foundation that will support the longevity of your business. Your purpose is the 4th gift that you unlock in the Gene Keys activation sequence, the journey designed to help you tap into your deepest strengths and zone of genius. The 4 gifts are intimately connected, and it is helpful to understand gifts 1, 2, and 3, which I cover each individually, and I will link all of these videos in the description below. The activation sequence begins with your life's work. This is where your deeper purpose meets the outside world. It's the arena of work that you are best suited for. It's how you use your natural gifts to be of service and create impact. When you download your chart on the Gene Keys website, linked in the comments and description below, you'll receive the audio of your life's work. So you'll get to listen to founder Richard Rudd describe your life's work in his words. If you feel like you haven't fully identified your life's work, your legacy work, the work that you were born to do, it is well worth your time to head over to the Gene Keys website, listen to your life's work audio, and then watch this video here to gain a deeper understanding of how to apply this in your life and business. Your second gift arises out of your Gene Keys evolution. Your evolution presents you with challenges and obstacles and gives you the opportunity to become aware of your default tendencies and patterns. When you become aware of the thoughts and behaviors that are keeping you where you are, and you decide to show up with intention, you open yourself up to breakthroughs and epiphanies, which ultimately allow you to activate your natural gifts. You become healthier, more radiant, and more magnetic. Your business gains momentum, and you are able to release your gifts into the world and make the impact that you want to make. Your radiance is connected to your purpose through the pathway of core stability. When you begin to show up from a place of empowerment, you develop inner strength. You become more adaptable, flexible, and resilient. You have a new level of clarity. You begin to express your true essence, and you live without compromise. This all stems from a deep trust in yourself and trust in life. You'll begin to follow your intuition rather than solely making decisions from your mind, and your purpose will unfold in layers as and when it is meant to. Let's walk through an example of the purpose sphere so you can see this all come together. When you look at your Gene Keys chart, you'll see that it's made up of spheres. Each sphere represents a specific aspect of your life and reveals key insights about your personality, your relationships, your challenges, and your gifts in that particular area. Inside each sphere, you have a Gene Key. The Gene Key is your teacher. There are 64 gene keys in total, and the one that shows up in your sphere is the one that you are meant to learn from. This is based on your date, time, and place of birth. And so your chart is completely unique to you. Each gene key contains a shadow, a gift, and a city. The shadow is something you're here to learn from. It helps you evolve. Without the shadow, we would not be able to recognize our patterns or consciously decide to make changes about ourselves and our lives. Experiencing the shadow energy is a natural part of the evolutionary process. It's not something to be upset about or ashamed about, because without it, there would be no growth. Every shadow contains a gift. This is the higher frequency of the gene key. It's the talent, wisdom, creativity, and strength that emerges when you consciously decide to commit to personal transformation. And the city is the highest expression of the gift energy. It's essentially divine consciousness. Beside the gene key in your sphere, you'll see a decimal point and then another number. This is called your line. The line is the archetype that influences how this gene key will express for you as an individual. The lines provide a practical understanding of how you can bring your gifts into the world. In the sphere of purpose, the shadow keeps you feeling unsettled, unstable, and ultimately unfulfilled. If we take a look at my gene keys chart here, the shadow is called entropy. Entropy occurs when the mind interferes with the natural rhythms of life. It leaves you feeling a sense of doom and gloom and powerlessness. Each shadow has a reactive and a repressive tendency, and you can find the descriptions for these in the Gene Keys book, and I will link to that in the description below. With entropy, the repressive side looks like numbness, and the reactive side looks like keeping busy to distract from your unpleasant feelings. The first business I created was in health coaching. And ultimately, after 2.5 years of being in that business, I hit a wall and felt the desire to pivot. I knew I wanted to continue coaching, but I had no idea who I was going to help or how I was going to help them. You could call this niche drama. I also refer to this period of time as being in the void. I felt very stagnant during this time period, and every day felt like an eternity. I experienced both the reactive and repressive sides of entropy. Some days feeling gloomy and numb and not knowing what to do, and other days distracting myself with podcasts and free workshops and reading books. The Gene Keys actually helped pull me through this time period. I knew that this void was the fertile ground from which something new would emerge. Of course, I had all of the typical thoughts and feelings of wanting it to move faster and worrying about what would happen next and how long it would take. But through my work with the Gene Keys, I came to a place of surrender. I wrote a letter to the universe expressing that I was ready, willing, and able to do the work that I came here to do, and I needed the universe to meet me halfway. And not too long after that, I got my answer. Human design and the Gene Keys take this work and help people do the work that they were born to do. This still needed a lot of fleshing out, and it provoked a lot of new questions, like who specifically am I helping? Am I helping employees change jobs? Am I helping entrepreneurs? How was I going to make this practical and accessible? These were questions that I was going to have to navigate in the coming weeks. But having this newfound sense of direction gave me the spark I needed to keep going and catapulted me into my gift energy. And for me, this is the gift of freshness. Our gifts are actually born from times of challenge, not knowing, and being in the void. The gift of freshness is about new insight and about knowing that new insight isn't always going to come predictably and that life happens in cycles. There will be times of aloneness where you're indulging in self-care and ultimately feeling unproductive. And there will be times where you feel the impulse to take creative action. This all happens in a natural cycle. Once I knew that I was going to be working with human design and the Gene Keys to help people understand their purpose, their life's work, and what they came to this world to do, I immediately started working with clients. I offered one-on-one sessions, knowing that as I spoke with people, I would become more clear on my next steps. I now help online entrepreneurs get clear on their truest, most meaningful work and take the action that is required to manifest their dream. If you would like help with this, I do offer free consultations, and you can book in the description below. Your purpose sphere in the Gene Keys is your unconscious earth gate in human design. It represents natural traits that shape your life purpose. It's an inherent essence that you might not be fully aware of yet, but that others see in you and feel when they are in your presence. It influences how you express yourself and interact with the world, and it helps you align with your true nature so that you can create greater ease and flow in your business. As you connect with your inner essence and you begin to show up authentically and creatively, expressing your natural gifts, your purpose emerges, and the manifestations in your outer life begin to reflect your inner reality. You begin to live your dharma, your true destiny. Your inner life dictates your outer life, and that's why doing this work is so important. Your purpose is connected to your attractor sphere, which is the force behind attracting everything you need to move your mission forward. This looks like attracting the relationships, the experiences, and the opportunities that provide the greatest possibility for you to manifest your destiny. Something to note here is that the attractor field will bring in what you need, which is not necessarily what you want in any given moment. So you might attract a challenge or an experience that doesn't turn out the way you want it to. And it is the lesson, the message, the growth from that will allow you to then attract in the next thing that you need. If something feels difficult or inconvenient, know that it is there for a reason. This all becomes part of your embodied experience, your hero's journey, so that you can make your impact from a place of, I've been there, I've done that. I truly understand. I have compassion, but I also have the experience that is needed to help you move forward on your journey. Let's call it compassionate expertise. So we've made it to the lines of purpose. Your line helps you understand how you bring your essence into the world and the deepest possibility for your life. I encourage you to listen to all 6 profile lines, because if this line number does not show up in your sphere of purpose, it may show up somewhere else on your chart. And although the description of the line does change for every sphere, they do carry a theme. And these themes can also be more deeply understood through the human design profile lines. The lines in the 4 spheres of your activation sequence match up to your profile lines in human design. So as we go through these 6 profile lines, pay specific attention to the 2 that show up for you in your activation sequence. Line 1 is called physicality. If you're a line 1, health and vitality are essential for you. So your life is about balancing health with pleasure, and you feel deeply fulfilled through the enjoyment of life. So make sure that whatever you're doing in your business, in your career, feels deeply enjoyable. Line 2 is called posture. For you, your purpose is fluid. You feel most fulfilled when you flow with the natural rhythm of things. So make sure that your life and business don't feel too rigid, and make sure that there's always room for flexibility. Line 3 is called movement. This is about change and adaptation, travel, adventure, experience. You require physical activity to feel grounded, so make that a part of your daily experience. For you, stability does not mean consistency. And that might be something that takes a little bit of time to really wrap your head around, because society really values consistency. You feel most fulfilled when you have a diversity of experience in your life. Line 4 is called breath. This is about being in harmony with the rhythm of life, especially in your relationships. For you, connection and community are key. You enjoy being surrounded by loved ones, and your deepest fulfillment comes through relationships. Line 5 is called voice. You are here to create an impact by using your voice, by communicating with others, and your fulfillment comes through leadership. Line 6 is called intent. This is about presence and awareness. You feel most fulfilled through self-awareness and your vision of a higher ideal. It may take some time and patience for your higher ideal or vision to come to life. If you received value from this video, I invite you to subscribe to this channel and also check out the resources linked in the description below. I've linked the Gene Keys courses and books, as well as the link to book a complimentary consultation if you would like support as you take this work deeper. Before we part ways, I'll leave you with a few questions for contemplation. When you feel most relaxed, how do you behave? What do you think about? What excites you? And what are your deepest dreams? How is your shadow preventing you from being in this relaxed state more often? And how can your gift energy help you maintain peace and calm in your life? Because it is from this place that all of your dreams are made possible. I'll see you in the next video.